Right, well, hi everybody. Welcome back to pot. Been a lot cooler today up here in the northeast. Bit of rain this morning. Not much to be done outside, as I say. The garden's had a real soaking the last few days, so we're going to concentrate on getting a little bit of work done. From down home, I've been taking a few plants out of the borders, some perennials, and perfect time now to start dividing. As I say, I've had a few plants in my flower borders down home for quite a few years now, so I'm going to take this opportunity to start splitting and dividing. So this is how I like to go about it. I've got a couple of large xanthadishas, the big autumn lilies, at the back of one of my borders, and that's definitely a priority for next month. But for the time being, I've got some smaller ones, the little hostas, which I'll treat just the same way. Next month we'll be doing rhubarb. As I said, I want to dig up the rhubarb bed and try and shift that. And basically, it's the same with everyone. As the plants go older, the centres tend to rot away. So far better after a couple of years to dig them up, split them, take the best parts from on the sides, and then plant a whole new plant for the following year. And that way you'll save a lot of heartache later on. If the plant gets diseases or starts rotting off, and there's a good chance you'll lose the plant altogether without having taken any cuttings from it. Anyway, this is the way I like to do mine. I've got the hosta here now. I've done one yesterday, and I've managed to get 40 cuttings from it, or 40 young shoots. Broken it well up, nice and clean, and as I say, this is the second one, so I'm hoping for about the same again. Two good garden folks. Don't be afraid to go well into them. Get it well in. Take a good hold of your fork handles, that is, and separate. And you should end up with two nice young plants that you can lift up, divide a lot easier on a potting bench. Okay, as I say, don't be afraid of going to them. This is a nice plant. Once again, once you've got that set, get the forks again. Two smaller forks this time. We'll just turn that round, just so on the potting bench, and we can see what we're doing. That's better now. As I say, once you've got the main part there split, it's quite an easy task just to start taking the cuttings from here. So we'll get into there. Once again, fork handles, whatever you want to call them, and split them again. And that way, make your life a little bit easier for you. So I say, once you're getting the main part split, the rest is quite easy. Good bucket for the rubbish. And what I like to do is, before I do anything else, is to get a good sharp pair secateurs and just trim away the tops, just to make it a little bit easier for you. As I say, you've got your cutting now, and then that's quite easy just to start teasing it apart one at a time. And there we have it. There's the first one. And what I'll do with these, once I get them 2, 3, good place it is, and just a little trim around the roots, just to tidy them up. Makes it a lot easier for potting on. Take the rubbish off the top, any loose leaf that's on, pull them away, because that'll not harm. And then once again, I just like to hold that by the width of my hand, and anything on the top, trim that away. And that is a perfect young cutting to go in. Now before I pot them up, what I've always liked to do is half a bucket of just warm water, once again, and a little bit of sterilising fluid. Just what you use for the babies. Good. Drop that in there. Good shake around. And immerse the young cutting into the water and give it a good wash. And that means any parts that's been split, any of the roots that's been split off the actual plant, you're going to be immersing in that water and sterilising fluid. And what you'll end up with, once again, once you've given it a good wash, you'll see where the roots are. So that's a nice straggly one there. We'll put that away, just to trim them up, just nice, not too much. Just leave about 2 to 3 inches on your root bed, on your root ball, and that's a fine young cutting just to go out. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Next hole I'll use is a 9cm pot, which is just fine for these, because in the springtime, if need be, these will be potted up in here and they'll go straight back outside on the borders. They'll not get any mollycoddling or any heat. They'll just go back outside and they'll sit there all winter. But a 9cm for something like that is fine for now. So we'll just a little bit of compost in the bottom there. Just sit that in there and pack around your fresh new compost. This once again is our own mix. Soil, manure, sand and some compost. And as I say, they're going trays and they'll just sit outside now right over the winter, and hopefully next year we'll have well, up to now I'm going to have about 50 cuttings, so we're going to have 50 new plants to start with next year to give away to friends and family or whoever needs them. But they're quite easy to separate. As I say, it's an easy enough task to do. If you haven't got sterilising fluid, no harm in using a little bit of J's fluid, but just be careful. If I do use J's fluid, I just like to colour the water. Nothing any more than that, nothing too strong. Give them a good soak in the J's fluid water, or the sterilising, is again, put your hand round and just do it to your hand. Anything on the top, trim off. There you have, once again you have the perfect cutting. That alone could be split again if I wanted to, which would make 2 cuttings, 2 smaller ones. But I like to keep them a little bit bigger. As I say, that's massive, that one. It's that can actually go into one of the black pots. Depending on the size of the root and depending on the size of the cutting, I'll put the plant in the right size pots. Once again, plenty of root on that. Just do it with your hand and cut away any excess on the top. Good washing, and already out that little plant will have 1, 2, 3 good cuttings. There's about another 6 in that one yet, 6 or 7, so that's going to make 10 off that half, and then if we get 10 again off the other half, I'll be well pleased. So it's 20 new cuttings from the hosta. I do have another hosta at home in the border, but that'll stop in for next year. What I'll do is I'll bring these on, and once they're a decent size, I'll plant a couple where the other ones were, and they can grow away quite easily, quite well, without getting too big, and make nice plants for the years to come. And then next year I'll dig the other big hosta up, and I'll do exactly the same again. Get them dug up, get them split, some nice compost, and get them grown again. Nice young fresh plant. So that's the way we'll like to do our divisions. As I say, we'll be dealing with a lot of plants like this over the next couple of months. The rhubarb especially, I'll do exactly the same with the rhubarb. The rhubarb's going to be a little bit more difficult to cope with, because when you dig a root ball up from a rhubarb, it's absolutely massive. So we'll take our time with that, we'll divide it, split it in half, split it in 4, and take away the best parts from around the edge, and that way you'll create a nice, fresh, young plant for years to come. And it's exactly the same rule with these, with your perennials. Dig them up, split them, divide them, and you make a much better plant. But that's that out of the way. At the moment we've got still plenty of runners on. I was in here the other day and we were going round. We decided to take some runners from the big plants, from the 3-year-olds, because for some reason the basket ones, the 1st year ones, didn't throw out as many cuttings as I would have liked. But not to worry, as I say, we'll fall back into the third years and the second years, and as you can see, we've got hundreds of cuttings coming away there. So we're well pleased. We're getting them rooted off. So hopefully by the end of this month I'll have exactly the amount I need, with a few spares to start potting my baskets up. But that's a job I can get on with later on. My last video I had quite a lot of comments. Thanks all once again. And I did promise a few people seeds from these monsters. Of course, that's a Spanish tomato. I love them. I think they're a great tomato, nice, big and beefy. There's a few on the way. I've been saving seed all week. I've been taking smaller ones that's dropped off and haven't been any good for eating. And what I've been keeping on the windowsill, kept them nice and dry. And once I split the tomato and take the seed out, dry the seed off, and prepare it like I normally do. I've brought some up tonight just to show you. As I say, there's a few years on my website that have requested seeds, so I've sent them away. When you get your envelopes, of course there's two different varieties. I've sent some American ones out as well as the Spanish. And this is what you'll get in the envelope. What I like to call, it's a little seed sandwich. Of course, it's just 2 sheets of ordinary kitchen toilet roll. The seeds are inside. If you hold it up to the light when you get it, you'll see all the seeds. So what you can do, I don't want to try and tell Granny how to suck eggs, by no means. A lot of you have your own way of planting these. What I like to do is I cut them, especially to the size of a half standard seed tray. So all you need to do is to top up your seed tray to 3/4 of the way up to about a ½ inch to the top. If your own mix, whatever compost you make, seed sown compost, give it a good soaking, and then all you have to do is place that on the top of your compost, let it get nice and moist, and then put a covering of either fine compost or vermiculite mix, what I use, or perlite, just over the top of it, and you'll find your tomatoes will grow through quite easily. If you don't want to use the standard seed trays, well, it's easy enough. Just to take a pair of scissors and cut them to whatever size you need, whether it be half size or small size. Just that piece, you'll get 4 out of there. And what I suggest you do, whatever container you're using, use exactly the same method. Bring it up to ½ inch below the rim. Give your seed compost a really good soaking, and there again, if you've got 4 pieces like that, you can sow them at different times. Just sow your piece into there, on top of the compost, so it gets nice and moist, and then cover with a light covering of your compost of your choice, whatever you're using. So that's the way we like to grow them anyway. But hopefully they should be arriving soon in the post. For those who haven't gotten them yet, I'm saving seed all the time, so I'll be sending some more over this weekend. Right, just one more thing before we'll go off the night. I want to show you how we're getting on with our seedlings. Okay, right. Well, these are our seedlings we put in a fortnight ago. Wallflowers, poppy, pansies, which are all through, which I'm well pleased, all popping through there. The foxgloves are through, the sweet william all through, plenty of seedlings. As I say, I love to bring the seedlings up, but I always try and get the best way of doing them. A lot of people suffer from dampening off, which is a problem for seedlings at this time of the year. Temperatures fluctuating up and down. I often find that watering is one of the main problems people get, either overwatering or underwatering. And what I always like to do is to water from a tray. Even from these trays, I can get 2 small units in and water in the bottom, and let the seed trays soak the water up. That way, I find that you don't flood them. A big tray here as I say, we can just pour the water onto here and let the plants soak up the water, which I think has always been the best way. And that way you don't overwater. One of the main reasons of dampening off, of course, is the pathogens and the algae in the water. We always have barrels of water in the greenhouses, but I never water seedlings with water out of the greenhouses. Always try and use a nice, if you've got seedlings at home, try and use fresh water from the tap. By all means, take a bucket in the greenhouse with fresh water in, but use that for your seedlings. That's the idea of me using watering from the bottom. That way, when you put your water on, as I say, if you're using water out of the tank, without you knowing, as I say, they're full of pathogens, they're full of algae, full of little beasties. Normally they don't do any harm to most of the bigger plants, but with seedlings, you're creating a perfect storm, because you're watering on the top, and what you're doing, you're adding these algae and the pathogens to the warm compost on the top, and that's going to create, as I say, a perfect storm. You get all sorts of green mould, funguses growing on the top of your compost, and that's a sure sign that you'll lose your seedlings, they'll be destroyed. So wherever you can, water from the bottom. That's why we always tend to use a nice sandy mix. As I say, it just acts like a blotting paper. You put your water in your tray and it'll just soak the water up and they'll get as much or as little as they need. Just another little tip. These are all wallflowers. As you can see, they're 3 nice rows. What I like to do is with wallflowers, because I don't prick them out individually, I like to plant them in little groups of 2s and 3s in the pots, and that way you get a nice display. Same with lobelia at the beginning of the year. That's another seed that I hate to broadcast on it because they're too fiddly to plant out. So what I like to do is, when you've got your compost, your tray of compost, is to just use a little bit of bamboo cane and press it into the wet compost and make 3 lines or 3 rows, and then you can plant your seed into them rows, and there you are, there's the seed up. 3 perfect rows, and in a week to a fortnight they'll be fantastic for potting off. We'll start potting them up into their little cells, and they'll go outside and they'll be perfect for planting out in October, late October into November. There's just one little job to do again tonight. As I says, once my seedlings are through, I like to make them a cup of tea and give them a good start in life. So now this is a perfect time. They've had a good drink. The compost nice and moist. So I like to give them a good spray of chamomile tea, and that'll cover the seedlings. Perfect. That'll give them a really good start in life, and hopefully it'll keep any diseases away, any bugs. As I say, there shouldn't be any on them because I don't water over the top, I water from underneath. And really, the only thing that will affect them is if there's been anything in the compost. But I always use fresh compost. I don't use our own compost when we do seedlings. As I say, I use a 2-to-1 mix of multi-purpose compost and 1 of good sharp sand. I always make it a good, really sharp sand and make it good free draining, and I never had any trouble at all with bringing the seedlings up. As I say, the pansies are well on the way there. I'm well chuffed with them. There's a good crop there coming through, and all you need to do is give them a good spraying, good soaking with chamomile tea, and they'll help them to no end. They'll just romp away now the next few weeks. Box gloves, they're just through. As I say, majority of seed you can just broadcast in your trays. But if you're going to be potting off into clumps or pricking off into little clumps, best way just use just use a stick or a pencil, anything will do. Make yourself 3 nice rows. You can go vertically if you're using a small tray. If you just got a small packet of seed, you can go vertically. Just make a 3 rows with a stick, and then you can just drop your seed in on them rows. Then that way you'll find it's a lot easier when you come to prick them out. As I say, broadcasting's okay for big seeds, marigolds, dahlias, whatever, unless you want to singly sow them. But I find this way is perfect. I've been doing it for years now, and there's no better way. As I say, we're going to probably leave them for about another week to a fortnight, It's just nice and cool in here. The doors open all the time. It's and they're getting plenty of light, as you can see, on the back here, on the shelves, and they're getting maximum light, and that's what the seedlings need. They don't want to be anywhere sheltered in shade where they're struggling for light, and that way you'll end up with weak, thin plants that'll struggle to get out. When you're planting them out outside, 9 times out of 10 you'll lose them. So what you want is good, strong, sturdy little plants to start with. Let them grow on, as I say, not too much heat. The doors open all the time in the greenhouse here, so there's plenty of fresh air in, and they're growing away fantastic. The Sweet William on the top, they're great, they're romping away, so I'm going to give all them a spray tonight before I knock off. I've just got one other thing to show you. Of course, we've been sowing our cabbages, and what we like to do is to sow our cabbages in trays. These are our winter cabbage, which will go into the lower tunnel in about 3 weeks' time. Once the leeks come out, and we'll start bringing the sweet corns out. But they're fine, they're perfect size. In 3 weeks' time, they'll be champion just for planting out, and hopefully we shall get a good ball head cabbage in January. Now that's the winter cabbages. This weekend I'm going to start on the spring cabbage. A lot of people sow their spring cabbage outside, for planting outside. I like to have a few outside, but then again you've got to have nets, and you've got to have this, that and the other to try and protect them from different birds or bugs. We like to grow a spring cabbage especially for growing in the tunnel. We'll always get a fantastic crop out of them. And at the moment it's just about timing. I like to get my spring cabbage planted no later than the back end of September into the beginning of October. So that's, at the moment, that's 8 weeks away by my calculation. So what I like to do is I'll probably wait until the end of this month or next week, which will give us 7 weeks. So if you're looking at a week in the seed trays till the whole of backside's out of the compost, 2 to 3 weeks in the seed tray while they're growing on, while you prick them off, and then once they've been pricked off at this stage, and then another 4 weeks to beef up until they get a good sized plant for planting out. So that's a good 7 weeks. So you can more or less work out what time you can plant your seed and what time you like to plant them, and you have space in the greenhouse to put them. So that's the way I like to work mine. So I'm looking at this week, towards the end of this week into next week before planting the seed, which will be fine for, as I say, end of September into the first 2 weeks in October. It's still not too cold, it's just nice. What we'll be doing, where we're planting, we'll be lifting the polythene up, skirts on our tunnels, so there'll be plenty of fresh air. Last year we could have actually picked spring cabbage at Christmas Day if we wanted to. Not too much heart in it, but nice and leafy. So we like to leave ours, as I say, in the tunnels. They'll come on a lot quicker. So we like to leave them till around about the end of September into October before we plant them. And that way they'll just gallop away. As I say, we could have picked a cabbage last year at Christmas Day if we wanted to. And they're really perfect cabbages. No damage to slugs or birds, any beasties. And yeah, we've grown them in the tunnel for the last 4 to 5 years, and we really enjoy them. So that's the job for next week and the week after. I'm going home now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dig up one of the Xantha Deschas. I will put that on film because they're massive plants. They really are big, but they're a beautiful flower if you get them right. Good shady spot, semi-shade, bit of sunshine, plenty of water. They love that. But that's my job for tonight. Go down and get that done. But for the time being, as I say, our seedlings are all romping away. And no doubt in the next couple of weeks we'll make another video and we'll show you how we'll get on with them. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay, bye for now.